Hey guys, so I know I'm not the best at recording my journey, but tonight it's Sunday, 6 days before I take regulation. I take regulation on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, and I'm still on R8, which if you use Becker, R8 is the last chapter. So I'm hoping that I can get done R8 tonight, so this week leading up to Saturday I could just take all 3 of the mock exams, go review, do practice tests, go back and look at the other R's just to see like what's going on, and then trying to get these reviews in. I don't feel 100% confident because I'm on R8 and it's like Sunday night. It's like 11:45. It's nearly midnight. Gosh. But I do feel like in these next few days I can build up that confidence and build up what I need to know. So I will be getting into further details of what's going on, but this is me studying regulation R8 tonight. Don't mind that time, it's the wrong time. Hey guys, just wanted to give an update. So right now I'm studying, of course. It's June 5th and it's nearly midnight, like 11:30. I'm about 3 days, basically 2 days out from my exam. I take it on June 8th on Saturday, and it is Wednesday night. Also on Saturday is my dance performance, my dance showcase, so it's gonna be a big day. So I took one mock exam on Tuesday, which was yesterday, got a 49 on it. Disappointing. Took a mock exam this morning, got a 53 on it. Disappointed. And then tomorrow morning I'm gonna take the 3rd mock exam through Becker. Try not to get too caught up on them, just trying to learn as much as I can and just catch up on the things that I've missed and figure out why I'm scoring so low, what's going on, and what can I do to improve. I go through each mock exam, each and every question, write down notes whether I got them right or wrong, because sometimes if I get it right, what if it was just by chance? Gotta see why. If I was on a multiple choice question, I was debating between 2 answers and I chose one answer and that answer was wrong, I went back to see, well, was the other answer that I thought was right actually right? And if that was the case, then at least I know that my thinking or how to solve the question was somewhat on the right track. It's just my final decision was the answer that seemed right rather than the answer that was absolutely right. So now I'm gonna get back to just doing some practice tests. Tomorrow I take another mock exam with Becker, and I'm really hoping to score at least a 60, but we shall see. Hey guys, as you can see, I'm basically wearing the same thing and in the same position as I was before because it's the same time, it's the same day. It's June 9th, and it's the day after I've taken the regulation section of the CPA, which is the first section that I've taken. So, took it yesterday. Oh wow, how do I feel about it? So let's just talk about exam day. So Friday, so my exam was at 8:30 a.m. at the Prometric Center in Manhattan. So scheduling that exam day in general, like June 8th, was like a blessing for me because I had filed for my notice to schedule, which is my first notice to schedule, which that takes some time. So the NTS, I filed for it like a little bit late, like first week of May, and I was hoping to get it back within a month so that I can go ahead and sign up before the June 10th. Sign up for a time and a day before the June 10th cutoff deadline. So I got my NTS on May 22nd, and it only took 20 days. Not saying that 20 days, I'm just saying for some people it takes way longer than like 3 weeks. So like I submitted my information on May 2nd, submitted my transcripts after May 2nd. Like they probably got my transcripts like a week later or something like that. And then, so basically from there, it was no time. It was like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, something crazy like that I got my first NTS, and like after they did the education evaluation and all that great stuff. So yeah, anyway, so when I got my NTS, I went to the Prometric website and was like looking around like, at this point it's like May 22nd or whatnot, which I'm grateful for, because like I was thinking, what if I don't get my NTS until June, and like the cutoff day is June 10th, whatever. So I went, and basically everything was booked. Like the first available date was like May 25th, and I'm like, yo, like I'm not ready to take the exam in 3 days. Like what's gonna happen? So I started looking at like prometric centers a little bit further away. Like there's like one here in Brooklyn. There's I think one in Long Island, a couple, like maybe 2 or so in Long Island. There's a few in the city. There's a couple in Jersey. I think I saw one in Connecticut or whatever. I was like looking like, if I have to go this far, like what's that gonna look like for me to travel? Sorry. What's that gonna look like for me to travel up there? Something told me, had to be God, go and check the one in Manhattan again. Went and checked the one in Manhattan around Midtown. Lo and behold, June 8th was an available day. Originally I wanted June 10th, but June 8th was close enough, because the other dates that were available, way too soon. It was like May 25th, June 1st. And like I was not ready to take that exam at that point in time. I just wasn't. And the thing is that because it was on June 8th, which is only 2 days before the original date that I had wanted it to be, June 8th was the same day as my dance competition showcase. So basically, like there was so many things going on that day for me. But anyway, I digress. So the night before the exam, I had a dance practice, and it was a late one, like from 7:30 to 10:30. And it was in this weird part of Brooklyn that was like kind of far from my house. It's kind of far from my house. But because like this was the day before our competition, I felt like, oh, I have to go. And sometimes like for me, like dance just helps me like, I guess, you know, relieve stress and like calm my nerves and stuff like that. So I feel like it was the right thing to do, to still go to practice. To still go to like practice or whatnot. So I went. By the time I got home, because you know how the trains run on weekends, and then once it gets late, by the time I got home, it was like midnight, and I went and drank some chamomile tea. And after I drank some because my best friend told me that like it'll help knock you out, because at this point it's already midnight, and my exam is 8:30 in the morning in Manhattan, and it's gonna be on a Saturday, and the trains run weird on the weekends because they're always doing construction, at least here in New York. So yeah, so like it was midnight. I'm like, yo, like I have to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Like I need all 6 hours of this sleep that I can get. Like it's midnight and I need to go to sleep. So basically I got home at midnight, took a shower, tried to go to sleep. It took me an hour to knock out. I didn't go to sleep until like 1:30 a.m. And I woke up at 6 o'clock, you know, got dressed, got ready. I ate some cereal, you know, brought like a grapefruit with me for snack, got me some water. I got on a train. Well, not even got on a train, because the trains by my house, they weren't even running at my stop. So like when I walked to the train, it was like, oh, you know, the trains aren't running all weekend, take a shuttle. So I had to look to figure out where the shuttle was going to be at. It was just a whole ordeal, which is why I'm glad that I left super early. Normally to that part of Manhattan, it takes me like 45 minutes to get there. But that morning, it took like an hour and 10, which is an extra 25 minutes. Like that. See, that's what the train does to you on the weekends here in New York, I swear. But anyway, I digress. I'm glad I left my house extra early because my test was at 8:30. My test was at 8:30, and they wanted me to get there at 8 o'clock so I can get there 30 minutes to go through the prometric security process or whatever. So, you know, got to Manhattan. So as I'm like on the train or whatnot, like that's a whole hour of study time. So basically it's just me doing like multiple choice questions, like brief ones. I was like reviewing the old multiple choice questions that I had did, and was evaluating why I got it wrong, what happened. And then I was reading like my notebook or whatnot. Remember I told you I started to take notes when I was studying R1 and R2. But like after I started getting into the other chapters, because I use Becker, that's my study thing I use. once I started getting into the other chapters, like I stopped taking notes because it was taking so much time. So like at the end when I was doing review and like reviewing my mock test, that's when I really started taking the notes. Like on the multiple choice questions and the simulations that I was getting wrong, I took those notes. And then I went through the chapter outlines that Becker gives us, like basically summaries of every chapter, and I took notes. So basically I had a good amount of notes, but like not as many as I would have had if I would have been taking notes throughout all of my studyings, whatever. So I read through all of my notes at least once, like literally every single page once. By the time that I finished that or whatever, I had already gotten to Manhattan and got to the testing center or whatever. Sorry. I had already gotten to Manhattan and gotten to the testing center or whatever. And then after that, I went through the Prometric like security screening. They had lockers there so we can put that stuff away. They had security there. I had to go through like I guess a metal detector thing. Yeah, it was cool. How I feel about the exam. So here's the thing. I feel like everything that I saw on the exam, Becker covered. Like, I definitely feel like they were definitely trying to trick us and trip us up by, like, throwing a monkey wrench into, like, things or whatnot. Monkey wrench into things, but I definitely feel like going through all of the things that Becker had given us in the study guide or the study materials that Becker had given us. I didn't do the final review in Becker. I didn't do that. I was not. But anyway, so yeah, I definitely feel like everything that I saw on the exam, like I at least saw a few times. I saw before, like in Becker. There was even one question that was like almost exactly the same as the question in Becker in a multiple choice. I will never forget. I'm like, oh, I know this one. But anyway, so yeah, so I would say I feel like I feel like there's a good chance that I passed. If I didn't pass, it would be because the task-based simulations. The multiple choice questions weren't extremely difficult, but it definitely made me feel like, okay, either I'm overconfident and I'm actually getting all these answers wrong, or I'm pretty confident in my answer. So like I took my time. I took 45 minutes on the first testlet, 45 minutes on the second testlet. The first two testlets are all multiple choice. The third testlet, which is like 2 task-based simulations, I took like 30 or so minutes or whatnot. I took the 15-minute break after that, just went, ate a grapefruit, looked outside, viewed the city. It was a nice little view at the Prometric Center. Yeah, that's what I did. I went back to the test after the 15-minute break or whatever. I completed the next task-based simulations. I didn't feel extremely horrible about the task-based simulations, but I don't feel like I got a lot of that right, because it was like you would do your calculations like normal, like, okay, I know that this is got to add with that, that's got to add with that, and then they'd have a little fact or like a little monkey wrench into the problem where you think like, oh, should I add this or not? Like, I don't really remember what to do with this or how to handle this. It was kind of like, if the answer was 500 and I wrote 600, then I would get that question wrong. But just knowing that I was that close would really make me upset. But I don't feel absolutely horrible about the multiple choice. I feel good about it. But if I did fail the exam, it would have to be because of the task-based simulations. I would say that. I really hope I passed. Like, I've been praying about it and everything. I got my family praying, my friends praying. The material wasn't all that dreadful to get through, and in Becker it's not that bad, just a lot of information, a lot of information to keep up with. I really can't wait to get my results. I just can't wait to get my results. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I want to see if I passed or not. Like, I don't even care how high or how low the score is, as long as it's above a 75. If I get a 75, perfect. If I get an 80 something, that's even better. If I get a 77, 78, 79, 80, 99, $99. But basically, like, as long as I pass, like, that's just the goal, you know. I'll see you guys in like 2 weeks. I think I'm supposed to be getting these scores back on June 19th, so that's like 10 days from today. Oh, that feels like a lifetime. Like, I can't, like, some people be waiting longer than that. I don't understand. Like, I have to know. So I'm going to start studying for audit tomorrow. So audit is the next section that I'm taking. Don't ask me why I chose audit next. I just did. And for audit, I'm giving myself about 5 weeks, so about the same time I did reg. So because audit isn't as many chapters as reg is, the way I'm going to do is a little different. So I have 5 weeks and there's 6 chapters. So obviously some of the weeks I'm going to have to do more than 1 chapter. I leave the last week for review. So like, I'm kind of doing the same, I guess I'm doing the same study tactic that I did with reg with audit. I mean, maybe once I start seeing the audit material, I'll change the way I study. But basically what I mean by that is giving myself 1 week to take all the mock exams and review everything that I just learned. I think 1 week is enough time. But of course, I haven't seen if I passed reg or not. And that was the first CPA section that I'm taking. So like, I don't know if that actually works. Like, do I need more weeks of review? Do I need more time to study for the exam? Like, I don't know. So basically in 4 weeks, I'm going to get through all of 1, 2, 3, 4. In 4 weeks, I'm going to get through all of the audit material. Probably going to do like 1 chapter a week at first. And then the last 2 weeks, going to do, wait, 1, 2. And the last 2 weeks, going to do 2 chapters a week. Or maybe I'm going to do 1 chapter a week at first, get 1 chapter done this week, 2 chapters done the following week, 1 chapter done, 2 chapters done, and then the last week for review. I mean, whatever it is. Basically, in the next 4 weeks, I'm getting all 6 chapters done. In Becker audit, it's 6 chapters. Anyway, stop speaking about audit. That'll be another video. But yeah, if you watch my other video, it's basically just me like vlogging like my CPA studying week-ish, because it was an interesting week leading up to the exam. You know, I had a lot going on in life and like my dance thing or whatnot. Like, you just kind of see me like going through life like while still studying for reg. Like, I really pray I pass. Like, I have faith that God will see me through. So I will see you guys in a couple more weeks talking about this exam, hopefully talking about that I passed. And I guess when I tell you that I passed reg, I'll let you know how studying for audit is going. All right, bye guys.